So the Parent-Child Center has been around for 30-ish years, I think, more than that, a little more than that. And it works with young parents in all of Addison County to just help get kiddos off to the right start. And so we have an in-house program here where families come in with their children. Some children come in without their parents, and other families come in together. And parents are here learning job skills and finishing education and learning parenting skills if they want to parent differently than maybe they were parented. And we hear that a lot, that people do want to parent differently than how they were parented. I'm an outreach worker, so what I do is I go out into the community and visit families in their homes who may or may not be attached to the center here. And a lot of what I do is get families connected with community and community services. So getting, finding a primary doctor for the baby, finding a primary doctor for mom and dad if they haven't done that. Helping them figure out about Reach Up, economic services, signing up for WIC, going to play groups, helping them find out where the library is, all those kinds of things. And it varies so much because it depends on what the family needs. I may go in and they have housing and they're pretty settled, and somebody in the household is working, and they just want some ideas about child development, and am I doing this wrong, or she's not sleeping through the night. And other parents I meet who are homeless and have just come to the county, so they need everything, finding the doctors, finding housing, signing up for services. I first came to the Parent-Child Center when I was 18, I think, was the first time I had an out. Well, first of all, I got pregnant at 17, and I went to the doctor's office, and the receptionist said to me, there's this place for girls like you, and she gave me the phone number to the Parent-Child Center. And so I called anyway, and I had this woman came out to see me. She was an outreach worker, and she was telling me about this program that was pretty new then, because it was a little while ago. And she was saying how these moms and folks came in with their kids, and you could be at the center, and you could learn about with different ways to parent, and you could maybe go to school and just come in. It was brand new. They were just starting it up. It was in a process. So I started to come in a little bit with my first child. And then I actually left for a while, and I came back, and I got pregnant really quickly. My kids are only 15 months apart. So I came back with the two of them, and this time we stayed for a while. And, I was in awe of what I learned about different, like how to be with children and how to play with children and how to discipline children without hitting them, which was so huge to me. I just learned so much. And the value of education, it's what made me want to go to school. Eventually, after a number of years, I said, this is what I want to do. I know this is what I want to do. And so I went to college very slowly. I dropped out of high school. I did have my GED. So I started taking classes at CCB, got my associates, and then went to Johnson State, got my bachelor's degree, and then went to UVM and got my master's degree. And so that feels really good. But coming here and meeting the people here and seeing this idea of going to college and the families of the staff who worked here, it was like wasn't even a question about going to college. It's something you did, which was new to me. I didn't grow up hearing that in my family. So anyway, and my kids had a great time here and had made really good attachments. And then of course they went off, and I knew I wanted to come back here and work. So one day I saw an ad in the paper that they were looking for a part-time caregiver. So I came in and applied for the job, and that was, I think 1989, and I got hired as a part-time caregiver, and then a van position came up, so I got hired part-time as a caregiver van position, and then eventually I got hired as a full-time caregiver, and then after, I think I did childcare for 9 years, and then an outreach position came up, and I decided I wanted to give that a try. And I love it just the right fit for me. It really varies. It can be anything from, well, coming in, maybe taking a family to the doctors for a well child visit, you know, getting that done, getting the shots done, asking, you know, maybe going to the pharmacy, pick something up, bring that family home. Then maybe I'm off to another family's house to fill out paperwork for Section 8 because they're homeless, or to fill out paperwork for Reach Up. Sometimes I go to court with families to support them through a process. Not often, but occasionally we have a family whose children go into custody, into DCF custody. So that often turns into doing, being of support in court and through that whole process, and helping families figure out what they need in order to be successful and for their children to come back to live with them. Some days I'm helping a family move, or going grocery shopping, getting parents in here to the center, so helping them apply for childcare. It's pretty varied, which is why I love it. Well, getting families into the program so that children are here in this really enriching environment where they're eating a healthy breakfast, a healthy lunch, and a healthy snack is like baseline. Having a warm, safe place to be during the day, and then they're enriched with all these activities, art activities, play activities, lots of things that are, it's all play, but it's all learning at the same time. And while their parents are here, they're doing the same thing. They're taking classes. Some of them are finishing high school and deciding to go on to college. Some of them are just starting college. Some of them are just learning enough skills so they can get a job, you know, a Monday through Friday job that hopefully pays decent and has benefits. And that's through, you know, lots of different ways, whether that's going to college, whether that's learning some skills here and maybe doing a trade school, or, but just sort of, and then again, you know, if there's a family homeless, the pyramid, probably heard the pyramid, that, you know, you got to start at the bottom. The first thing you need is to be housed and to be safe and to have enough food. And so it starts from there, and then it goes on to some learning. You know, your child's learning, you're learning about the world, you're learning about yourself, and you start to see the difference in, you know, how you want to live. And most people want to live in a safe home and a good home and have enough money that they don't have to worry how they're going to pay their electric bill. So it's a lot of education, it's a lot of support. A lot of ways that the college already does help is volunteer, you know, come in and volunteer if you can be a good and steady person for the kiddos, and you can commit for the full time you're here, because we try not to have too many people in and out of their lives because that already happens a lot. Volunteering, being welcoming to the parents. So I know that there's a community friends program that used to be called the Big Brother Big Sister program. I know they could use a lot more mentors, is my understanding. I applied with a mom for a kiddo who lost his dad in the beginning of the year, and they're still waiting for a match, and so that's been like 4 months. And we've gone to a few college events recently because we are connected with the director of the Arts Center, Liza, and you know, she was able to say, hey, I've got this thing coming up I think you guys would be interested in. And so the performers came here and met with our families, and then we went to the performance, and it was really neat. So yeah, just in being welcoming and trying to pull people in and showing them that we're not all that much different. We all want the same things in life. You know, actually a lot of things. I learn things every single day from the families we work with. I'm often really shocked and surprised about what kinds of things can happen to a person, and that they can get through it and survive it and go on. You know, I guess the first time I worked with a family and the kids went into custody, and that mom lost custody of her children, and it was like, how does anybody live through that? You know, it helped me, you know, want to make sure that it never gets that far. for a family, that the kids don't end up in that place, because there's a lot of support for that family who's really struggling. You know, in my own life, I was a young mom on welfare and on food stamps and not having a car, and I know what that's like. I mean, that certainly is what shaped me to want to come here and work here, because the center helped me so much that that's what I wanted to do. But, you know, I learn every single day how strong and incredible these young women and men and children are that we work with. We don't have any income guidelines for families that come. It doesn't matter how little they make or how much they make. And it's often we do meet families who have nothing at all, and then helping to support them until they can get on Reach Up or maybe apply for disability if that's what they need to do. And so even the families who come who have absolutely no income, no money. I mean, we have people that walk in and they have no diapers, no food, no place to stay. And then there's the team, which is all of the people involved with the Parent-Child Center, and the county pull together and find this family a place to stay for a night or 2 nights until we can figure out a more long-term goal and apply for economic assistance. And there's an emergency basis where you can get food stamps much faster. We've had some very well-off families who have children who have had special needs, and we work with those families too without, any income guidelines at all. Yeah, we'd like a bigger building so we can bring in more families. There's still a serious lack of childcare in the county, especially for really young children. We always have kids on the waiting list who, every single one of them could benefit a lot by being here. So I wish we were bigger. I wish we had more childcare spots. We have a house that's a first-time renters program that a lot of our families move into. It's full often with a waiting list. And I would like to see more help with substance abuse work in this county. And I don't know if that's for us to take on, but and sometimes it feels like it might be, because right now if there's a young woman who's parenting who has to go into treatment, and some kind of long-term treatment especially, you can't take kids with you. You can't take your child ever. So you have to make a choice of leaving your baby for a month or 2 months or 3 months in order to go into treatment. And I wish there was a treatment facility that could take the family in. I'd say right now in my work is homelessness. I'm working with a lot of families that are homeless. And the Section 8 stuff sort of froze up, so we have no housing vouchers that are coming into the state right now. Though it looks like it might change, but it's going to be a really awful winter.